my name is Carleigh Schoenleber. I am an assistant visiting lecturer at Wheaton College in Wheaton, Illinois. We had snow 2 days ago, but it is on the up for warmer weather here. My background is as a classroom teacher. I've taught first, second, and fourth grade for 10 years, and throughout that time worked on my doctorate and studied technology integration. So my research actually happened 1 or 2 years before COVID hit. And then since I have kind of updated my research, and it's been all the more applicable to this current environment that we are all living through. So my study is about teachers and technology integration and coaching the technology reluctant teacher. I worked in a building with a lot of technology tools, and many of the teachers were so nervous they didn't even touch it or turn on their smart boards or make use of the technology tools. So my goals are to provide you with background information about technology integration in a classroom setting, and then background information about how peer coaching in this research study can help that technology integration, and then present to you my findings and then applications for educators during this time that we're all living through. So the problem that I encountered was this technology transience, that technology is constantly changing and educators are having to keep up with this transience of technology tools. Even just the tools that we saw presented, so many wonderful resources, but it can be overwhelming for teachers as things are constantly changing. And then I experienced on my own team this technology reluctance. Teachers were afraid to use technology. They were afraid it wouldn't work when they were kind of under the gun. They were afraid that it, about the time that they would have to engage in. So in my research, I found that, educators that were already pressed for time were having this challenge of, trying to keep up with the times, but then also deliver their content. So the feeling that most of them had was that it was overwhelming when they didn't have adequate training or knowledge. Integrating technology into their instruction produced feelings of overwhelmingness, and these transformational ways of teaching and technology integration can be challenging to any teacher at any level of experience. We all discovered this firsthand, and myself even teaching at the college level, when in the matter of a week or two, we were all, trying to figure out how to teach on Zoom and screen share and do all these things that we're doing right now. So there's also a wide range of comfort levels with technology. Teachers felt that their objectives and their teaching load were manageable, but then most of the teachers that were integrating technology believed in it. They believed that it would make a positive impact upon their students. Teachers' background experiences and personal philosophies also impacted their technology integration. And again, this growth mindset of positive beliefs correlated with more technology integration. So I also introduced the concept of peer coaching to this. So I identified, okay, what does technology integration look like? And then instead of the traditional model of professional development where you sit and you get the information, I approached technology integration in my study from a peer coaching lens. And peer coaching is when peers engage in observation and feedback to each other, and they learn and grow with and from one another. Peer coaching is only productive when there's a clear purpose, defined roles, and clear feedback method to be effective. And peer coaching is only effective when it's non-evaluative, meaning if you're engaging in a peer coaching situation with someone, you're not being evaluated by them. You're working together towards a common goal or a common purpose. So our goal was using this peer coaching model to enhance technology integrations. This allowed, I almost said students, allowed teachers, which are students, we all are anyway, to experience support in their specific area of need, differentiated to their specific areas of strength and weakness. Kind of the gurus of peer coaching are Joyce and Showers, and they see that they studied peer coaching in depth and its impact on teachers. And they said that study teams enhance staff development efforts and offer support to teachers implementing new strategies. And I think we've all now fall under that category of implementing new strategies into our teaching. And they said greater knowledge transfer occurs when teachers that are coached rather than just participating in a mass training. So there's some benefits to this. Like I already mentioned, support is differentiated, just like we would differentiate for students to the teacher's specific areas of need. There's a higher level of accountability for actually learning and integrating the technology. If you're meeting with someone else who's walking you through it, it promotes this concept that we talk about a lot, which is professional learning communities, engaging in things together, working collaboratively, especially in this new environment where a lot of it is engaging collaboratively digitally. It also provides a safe place for reflection and growth. I think it's one thing to be evaluated by your supervisor, and another thing when you are providing positive and constructive feedback to a peer. So my research study engaged in 3 questions. The first question was, how can peer coaching foster integration of technology into teachers' lessons? How does peer coaching influence reluctance to technology integration when I paired a technology proficient teacher with a technology reluctant teacher? And then what are the benefits of technology proficient teacher and the reluctant teacher joining together in an 8-week coaching process? So I engaged in 3-point interviews, so 3 throughout the research period, observations of these pairs, and then 2 focus groups. This multi-pronged approach was to get the fullest picture of perspectives of coaches and participants, as well as the most data. And the peer coaching pairs were identified in the United States. We use this tool. A lot of teachers are evaluated using the Charlotte Danielson framework. And there's also one for technology. So we used that to identify who is technology proficient, who is more technology reluctant. And then participants elected to participate and be coached, and then also be coaches throughout the study. So they were paired 1-to-1. The scope, this just gives you an idea of the scope and sequence of our study, that we started with a focus group, had interviews throughout, and observations where I just sat and watched how they engaged with each other, and a focus group to kind of culminate everything at the end of the study. So some findings is that after this 8-week of engagement, developing a goal and working on the technology integration, peer coaching impacted first their technology integration, which is good, that it helps them foster integration into their lesson designs. And there was a large contrast in application and skill level at the beginning of the program versus the end of the program. The teachers felt more confident to try to integrate it into their everyday lessons and really use the tools that they had available. Peer coaching also impacted their confidence, and responses from them indicated that they experienced a boost in confidence with technology at the end of the program. Many wanted to continue meeting after my research was over to continue boosting their technology skills. And like was highlighted earlier in some of our presentations today, that social aspect of things is so important. The social emotional is so important, and confidence weighs into that. And then it also impacted the relational development, which is another thing that we feel in a big way that we are lacking in a normal way right now. That participants and coaches stated that they had developed a safe and working relationship. They were able to expose their strengths and weaknesses and really work together. They felt safe going to ask for help or ask questions. And the coaches also said that they grew as well as they were, researching different ways to help their technology reluctant participants. So some practical applications that I've circled back to in the past year are that peer coaching could be used as a means to implement new technology modalities and tools with less resistance from teachers. I think we were all forced into this position last year, but instead of doing a mass training online on Zoom, perhaps in buildings, teachers could be paired together to have someone that they can work together on exploring new technology tools. It's an opportunity for teachers with less years of experience to actively contribute to more experienced peers. At Wheaton College, I teach in the education department and train teachers to be out in the field. And I observed several situations this fall with my student teachers where they were teaching their cooperating teachers about the technology tools that they were using. So it's an opportunity for less experienced in years peers to really step up. It's a chance to cultivate growth mindset and grit. And growth mindset is coined by Carol Dweck and is just something that is integrated deeply into our classrooms here in the United States. And then grit by Angela Duckworth, both wonderful just contributions. And so it's a chance for teachers to model this to their students and cultivate it together. And then it just keeps teachers connected to each other in a time of very little authentic connection. If we were to implement a peer coaching model, it would help keep teachers connected to each other as they communicate and work towards further technology integration. So I am ending with questions for you to think about, whatever your discipline is how could peer coaching help you in your discipline if you implemented it? What are the benefits of peer coaching over mass technology trainings and in-services? I think that's usually a go-to because it's the easiest, but how could integrating peer coaching help and benefit? How could it improve your work environment and enhance buy-in for technology changes? It can be used to establish connections and promote changes and support one another in this forever changed COVID-19 world we're all teaching through and living through. So thank you for taking the time to listen to my research today. And if you have any further questions, I posted my presentation on there and my emails in here. Thank you.